Feliz Navidad, everybody.
Whoa.
Or is it Navidad? Whatever.
I didn't know you spoke Spanish.
I don't. That was French.
Wow.
Welcome back to Ross and Wizzy's Fan Fiction Power Hour. I'm your host, Ross Pitt, Shark Hunter. And right here with me is my co-host, Wizzy Puff.
Well, hey there, everybody.
Hey, Wizzy, how you doing?
I'm having a wonderful Christmas right now. On this December 25th.
It is December 25th. Jesus' birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Jesus.
My man. So, wonderful time. And, as we all know, we're going to be reading a fan fiction on this wonderful time.
Is it a wonderful fan fiction on this wonderful time?
Oh, it definitely is a wonderful fan fiction.
It's a wonderful fanfic. Classic Christmas movie.
Yep. All right, so today we're going to be reading Hearth's Warmin Eve. That's Warmin with an apostrophe, where the G would normally be, because it's an Applejack fic, and it's by Luna the Fox.
You know, she is kind of a fox.
Oh, she's hot. Now then. Yep. This is going to be the big Christmas fic. Romance, yay, love it. Cannot wait to get this rolling.
I wonder what that picture is for all of you can see it, you know? I wonder what this fic is going to be about. Huh?
They don't know.
They don't know? What do you mean they don't know?
They don't know. All right, let's get to doing it.
Hearth's Warmin Eve by Luna the Fox. Chapter 1. Heartwarming. Hey, that's not the name of the holiday.
Yeah. That's stupid. We should read a different fic.
Yeah, it's clearly a typo. And in the first chapter.
God. The first word.
Yeah, like that clearly shows a lack of...
lack of care.
Yeah, and this fic about a caring holiday? Can't have it.
Yep. Tisk tisk.
3 knocks. Applejack looked up from her mug of cider toward the door.
Who could that be? I ain't expecting any pony but my family, and they don't need to knock.
She waited for another knock, yet none came.
Maybe I'm just hearing things. Let me in. It's so cold.
Oh no! This was the wrong fic. This is the wrong fic.
Uh-oh. Go watch our Halloween specials. Listen to it. Fuck it.
Man, that feels like yesterday that we recorded that.
You kidding me? It feels like 5 years ago. God, I miss those days.
She thought. It was awfully hot in the room, and after a long day of clearing snow from the roads, she had started to doze off. Letting the warmth soothe her aching muscles. She flicked her ears and continued waiting. Another moment passed, and satisfied that her mind was playing tricks on her, she rested her head on her hooves and emptied her mind once more, letting the warmth take her back to her relaxation. 3 knocks.
There it is again. I guess some pony really is at the door.
Applejack blinked the sleep out of her eyes and trudged over to the door, yawning. Realistic.
That's a good old southern yawn for all y'alls. An authentic
southern
one.
yawn.
Who could be out here on Hearth's Warmin Eve?
She pulled the door open, and her eyes fell upon Rainbow Dash. For barely a moment, her heart leapt at the sight of her best friend, until she noticed a layer of snow covered the Pegasus, who shivered as she stared at the ground.
Rainbow?
Gasped Applejack.
What are you doing? You're gonna get sick standing out here like that.
Rainbow Dash brought her head up to look at Applejack, her lips quivering.
Well, this ain't good.
Laugh track.
Ha ha ha. Ho ho ho.
Oh God, the laugh track of Santas.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Applejack's face fell when their eyes met.
Has she been crying? Come on, let's get you inside.
She walked around behind Rainbow and pushed her in, brushing the snow off of her back as best she could. Pushing the door closed behind her, Applejack led Rainbow to the kitchen and sat her down at the table.
All right, now what?
She pondered.
I've never had to deal with this before.
Emotions.
That's true. Rainbow, what's wrong?
Rainbow sat silently, placing her head on the table.
Rainbow, talk to me, please.
The Pegasus kept quiet, her shoulders heaving. Applejack's mood sank further as she watched her friend's face twist in anguish. She tentatively touched Rainbow's shoulder, who flinched, but Applejack kept her hoof in place.
Sugar cube.
Still no answer.
All right, time to try something new.
Applejack had some experience comforting ponies from when Apple Bloom was younger. Oh, jeez. That's the last time that she comforted
All right,
a pony.
you want some broccoli? Here comes the plane.
Well, yeah, when Apple Bloom was younger, not even current day Apple Bloom.
I mean, I think Applejack might do that to current day Apple Bloom, honestly. Seeing one of the worst episodes of the show.
Aw, when she comforts Apple Bloom?
No, she babies Apple Bloom, basically.
Oh. Yeah, well, she is a baby.
Proofs the house and all that.
Oh. She's not that kind of baby.
Yeah. Applejack's a weirdo.
True, but she's the best weirdo.
They all have their quirks.
It's like Phoebe from Friends. Although she wasn't sure if the same methods would work on Rainbow, they were certainly a little more intimate than usual. Or, at least they could be taken that way. Even so, Rainbow needed her to be there. Applejack wrapped her legs around Rainbow's neck and cooed into her friend's ear.
I think I know some pony who could use a mug of hot cider.
Not you, though. Drinks it right in front of her. Like a pigeon. Rainbow sniffled and gave a slow nod.
I'll be right back.
Okay, fine. I guess you're leaving now.
Yep. You're gonna just leave on me so many times, I guess I might as well too.
Hey, I never left during those dog barks.
Yeah, it's true.
Said Applejack, grabbing a mug from a cupboard and trotting over to the fireplace, filling the mug from a near boiling kettle. She returned to Rainbow and placed the mug between her hooves. Rainbow grasped the mug and inhaled, letting the sweet, scented steam coming off the cider fill her lungs.
Oh, I thought it was just actually going into her mouth like a vacuum. I think it was Patrick in that one episode of SpongeBob.
Oh God. That's how cold she was.
Woof.
The seasoned warmth banished the cold scratching at her throat, working its way through her chest in fiery tendrils.
Yeah, now that I think about it, Kirby would have also been a good one to use. A good pull there. Oh.
Spreading to the very tips of her wings, She exhaled over the surface of the cider, casting ripples across it, steadying her breath. She reached her muzzle into the mug and lapped carefully at the cider. Applejack watched for a few moments.
Feel like telling me what's wrong?
She asked in as caring a voice as she could muster, brushing her hoof through Rainbow's mane, freeing some of the ice that clung to it, the soft hair curling slightly around Applejack's hoof as it passed through.
She really does have a beautiful mane.
She really does. Like, she's the best mane.
Applejack.
Even friggin' Celestia or Luna couldn't top her mane.
I mean, I don't know, I like Celestia's.
I do too, but I just really like Rainbow's, you know?
Yeah.
Whispered Rainbow. No.
It's all right, Sugar Cube. You can talk to me when you're ready.
The cider cooled, and Rainbow took the occasional sip as Applejack held her. Hearth's warming eve, said Rainbow after several more minutes.
Pardon?
Did he say that?
Yeah.
Did he say pardon? That sounded weird. For some reason that sounded like he said something else.
It was French.
Oh,
I said it in a French accent. Pardon.
It turns out she's from Louisiana, so she's both Southern and French.
No, her accent is definitely Texan birthed.
Yeah. Asked Applejack, startled. It's Hearth's... I can't say Hearth's. Hearth's. It's Hearth's warming eve, Applejack.
I don't blame you. It is a very Canadian word.
Is it?
No.
Okay.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the etymology of it. Is it etymology?
Yeah.
Or is that couches?
No, it's sofas, not couches. There is a difference.
Ah. That's dumb.
Do they say it often in the show when they're, like, talking about it? Are the characters able to say it well?
Yeah.
God, I need to listen to that so I can, like, copy them.
Hearth's warming eve.
That did sound good. I can't do that.
No. Get better. Get good, scrub.
Oh! My heart. Applejack furrowed her brows.
I'm sorry, Rainbow, but what's so bad about Hearth's warming eve?
Hey, she said it.
It's the day Jesus Hearth was born. You know, our Lord and Savior.
Oh, she would profess to her at a time like this. I'm alone, AJ. I spend every year alone.
Oh.
My family's gone, and I have no pony to spend it with. Every pony else I know gets to spend it with the ponies they care about. Rarity with her sister and parents. Twilight with her brother and parents in Canterlot, and Spike. Wait, is that the brother you're talking about? Pinky's throwing a party with the cakes. Fluttershy even flew up to Cloudsdale to see her parents. But not Rainbow, ouch. And then there's you and your sister, brother, and Granny Smith. Rainbow pressed her muzzle into Applejack's chest and drew in a deep breath. But what about me? No pony asked if I wanted to do anything. No pony asked me to come visit. Not even for a few hours. Every pony forgot about me. They just forgot.
I did forget about you.
God.
Like,
She
I
has
thought
a
it was the main
realization on her
five for a
face.
second there. I thought Spike became the element of loyalty for a second. Oh. That's, that weirdly enough doubles as just a good joke and a reference to the Season 2 premiere.
Wait, what happens in the Season 2 premiere?
Spike becomes the new Rainbow Dash. Duh. They can't find Rainbow Dash because she's not loyal anymore. And so they have to make Spike the new Rainbow Dash. They were discorded by Discord.
Oh.
So they became the opposites of themselves.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, Spike is pretty loyal.
Yep. I think he would work best as the element of the element of loyalty if it wasn't for Rainbow Dash. Actually, he probably would work better than Rainbow Dash half the time. But he's really only loyal to Twilight, not particularly everybody else.
Yeah, is it maybe the difference between loyalty and dependence?
That could be.
This is something to explore in another fanfic.
And a lot of people will say that Applejack should have been the element of loyalty. They can shove it.
Again, she's only really loyal to the apples.
I mean, she's loyal to most of her friends, but Rainbow Dash, I would say, is loyal to her friends, her family, people she just met, her country.
Scootaloo?
That counts as family.
Okay. Who's her family?
Just some guys you haven't met.
Ooh.
Windy Whistles and Bo Hothoof.
Wait, what? How come these haven't been introduced in any fics?
They're not great characters.
Aw.
Though, I imagine we might have seen Windy Whistles at some point.
I recognize
a lot of people
the
have a
name.
crush on her.
Oh. Including Applejack in my
That's
new
right, it was Bo
fanfic.
Hothoof. Actually, yeah, they're kind of... These both are kind of hot, actually.
Alright, back to the fic, though. Pangs of guilt welled up in Applejack's chest.
Oh my gosh, Rainbow. Fuck off. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't even realize and...
She paused a moment and avoided Rainbow's gaze.
I should have.
Shame. That's what it was. Shame twisted her stomach and drove daggers into her heart.
Oh god, my shame.
It's having a heart attack from the shame. The first pony Rainbow had ever trusted with the real reason she left flight school, the death of her parents, had completely forgotten about it. It had never even occurred to her that Rainbow might not have any pony to spend the holidays with.
Stay here just a moment, Rainbow. I've got something for you.
She gave Rainbow a squeeze and ran upstairs, leaving Rainbow to finish her drink. Applejack returned several minutes later with something draped over her back. It looked like a piece of worn fabric to Rainbow. The Earth Pony set the piece of fabric on the table in front of Rainbow, whose eyes widened as she realized just what it was. An old stocking with the letters R.D. stitched hastily into it.
Jesus, Applejack. Did that fast? Guess it's that old southern stitch abilities.
Yeah, she probably got taught by Granny Smith.
Rainbow Dash, you can be part of our family today,
said Applejack, placing a hoof on Rainbow's.
Happy Hearth's Warmin Eve.
Rainbow traced the letters with her free hoof. Do you really mean that, AJ?
I sure as shit do. I sure as sugar do.
She can't say that. This is for kids.
That's true.
The start of a smile crept onto Rainbow's face as she heard the front door open.
Big sis, we're home.
Yo, Apple Bloom has been spending too much time in Ponyville. Is Sweet Apple Acres in Ponyville?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess spending too much time in the city.
Manhattan.
There you go. Yelled Apple Bloom. Both Applejack and Rainbow Dash trotted out to greet the new arrivals.
Well, hey there, Apple Bloom. Have fun with your friends?
Asked Applejack.
I sure did. Tried to get our candy cane eating cutie marks today, but Scootaloo got her tongue stuck on one. Again.
Oh. Evening, AJ, said Big Mac.
Now that is officially the closest voice you've gotten.
Yes. It's because it's a male voice, finally.
Yep.
How was your day?
Have you ever voiced Big Mac?
Maybe in Scribble, in that one scene near the end.
No, I think that was me.
Okay. Oh yeah,
I remember
because
doing
I
something.
was the other character in that scene.
Yeah.
And Miss Rainbow, what brings you round here? Applejack cast a glance at Rainbow, silently asking permission, to which Rainbow agreed.
Abby, Big Mac, meet your new sister for the day. She ain't got no family of her own, so she'll be spending Hearth's Warmin Eve with us.
That just sounds a little bit, You didn't have to add the no family part, I'm just saying.
Both of her parents have died. Anyways, let's eat.
She's really messed up about it.
Another big sister,
exclaimed Applebloom, running over to hug Rainbow's legs.
Scootaloo is going to be so jealous. Rainbow Dash is my sister.
Yeah, I guess she will, said Rainbow, grinning down at the excited filly.
Well, happy Hearth's Warmin Eve, Miss Rainbow. I hope you like glazed squash.
That is a good Granny Smith voice.
Thank you there, young sonny. Go, here's the nickel. Go on and get yourself a nice new television.
Said Granny Smith. Yep, affirmed Big Mac. I've never had glazed squash, actually, replied Rainbow.
Really?
Asked Applejack, surprised.
I'm sure you'll like it. We have it every year for Hearthwarming. Now, why don't we go hang that stocking of yours up with the rest of them? Abby, why don't you come help?
The three trotted into the living room and pinned Rainbow's stocking next to Applejack's.
Rainbow will be pinned to Applejack pretty soon.
Hey-o!
Fucking. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah. Can't have the characters swearing, but we can do all the explicit talk we want.
Yippers.
After admiring their work, the three were joined by Big Mac and Granny Smith, all of them joking, telling stories, playing games, and enjoying hot cider over the course of the evening, stopping only to dig into dinner, an expertly cooked.
Character development.
An expertly cooked glazed squash, corn pudding, cornbread, rolls, casseroles, and a whole assortment of vegetables. Dinner was followed by Rainbow's favorite, freshly baked apple family apple pie. After dinner, the family gathered in the living room around Granny Smith in her rocking chair with a thick book upon her lap. Rainbow laid herself down next to Applejack, just close enough to feel their fur brush together when she took a deep breath in. Applejack was having none of this and gave Rainbow a look before wrapping her hoof around Rainbow's neck, pulling her to an equal distance to herself as Big Macintosh. That is to say, snuggled against each other rather comfortably, which left a light blush upon the Pegasus's cheeks that went unnoticed by Applejack.
No need to be so shy, Rainbow.
She waited for protest from her friend, but when none came, she mentally gave herself a smug grin. Granny Smith opened the book up, and smiling at her grandchildren all nestled together, she began to read.
Once upon a time, long before the peaceful rule of Celestia, and before ponies discovered our beautiful land of Equestria, ponies did not know harmony.
As the evening wore down and the story came to an end, Applejack and Rainbow bid good night to the rest of the family, and Applejack led Rainbow to the living room where they settled down next to each other in front of the fire.
So, Rainbow, How'd your Hearth's Eve go?
asked Applejack. It was nice. Really nice. Thanks, AJ.
I'm glad, Sugar Cube. I still feel real bad about everything.
Oh no! A bark came from across the room, and the pair looked over to see Winona wagging her tail at the bottom of the stairs. Applejack chuckled softly.
I'm just supposed to be in bed by now.
Who's Winona?
Winona's her dog.
I didn't know she had a dog named Winona.
She does. I've told you before, but whatever.
If her name is Winona, is she a dog that's big enough that you can ride her?
No.
This is a reference to Winona
She's a
Ryder.
sheepdog. No, I don't think it is a reference to Winona Ryder. Anyways.
Winona simply kept wagging her tail.
All right. You usually sleep with me.
Remembered Applejack.
How do you forget that? Well, come on. There's room for one more. There's always room for 1,000. Any volunteers?
Winona barked happily and ran over to the two ponies on the floor, curling up against Applejack's side.
I swear that dog never wants to sleep without me if she can help it.
Applejack smiled and leaned a little more of her weight on Rainbow. When she turned her attention back to her friend, she noticed Rainbow had been staring into the distance. She gently prodded Rainbow's side.
Sugar Cube?
Oh, what? Huh? Yeah, AJ?
Something wrong, Rainbow?
Rainbow Dash sighed and shook her head. No. Everything's great.
It don't sound great to me.
Well, I don't know. It's stupid. Applejack rubbed her head against Rainbow's.
Man, they are intimate.
Yeah, but they're just good friends.
I mean, yeah, at this point. Don't think they've said anything else. Come on, Dash, you can tell me.
I don't know, AJ. Rainbow rested her head on her hooves and flattened her ears. Frowning, Applejack hugged Rainbow closer.
You don't have to say anything if you don't want, but I could tell something's bothering you, something fierce. A double positive.
What was that?
She's 2 somethings.
Oh, she did. Dang. Rainbow took a moment to steel herself and calm the fluttering in her chest. Her entire body trembled as she inhaled deeply and opened her mouth to speak. Applejack?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. For everything. I mean, I've never had some pony who's always there for me. Not until I met you. Applejack nodded and smiled. I thought you were my best friend, but over the past few weeks, I think you mean so much more than that to me now. I think I like you. Well, yeah, everyone likes Applejack.
I mean, yeah, she's just part of the family whenever she's over, you know?
Yeah, said Rainbow, barely a whisper. Applejack's heart skipped a beat.
Did she just...
Hearing no reaction from Applejack, Rainbow pressed her face into her hooves and fought back the sadness grasping at her heart.
Oh.
A small squeak escaped Rainbow Dash, and Applejack realized that she hadn't responded. She brushed her hoof against Rainbow's shoulder, and as Rainbow looked up, she was met with the most sincere smile she'd ever seen. Applejack pressed herself against Rainbow and brought their noses together in an affectionate nuzzle. Rainbow draping her wing over Applejack as they nipped gently at each other.
Damn. This is getting saucy.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't get too saucy.
Merry Christmas and a
Next chapter
Happy
specifically
New
is
Year.
M-rated.
Didn't even know you could do that.
Applejack moved her hoof to caress Rainbow's cheeks, and the warmth of the fire cascaded over the two as the moment ended, eliciting a yawn from both ponies. Rainbow held Applejack's hooves in her own, each pony leaning against the other, and as the couple savored the close contact, they drifted to sleep. And for the first time in a long time, Rainbow Dash truly smiled on Hearth's warming eve.
Wow.
And that's only chapter 1, baby!
God damn it. There's more!
There's 2 more chapters.
Oh, God. Wow.
Yeah.
Anyways.
This is gonna go on with long descriptions of them touching for thousands of more words.
Yeah.
Chapter 2, Promises. Rainbow Dash stretched her wings and silently yawned. It was entirely too early to be awake, a fact made clear to her by the lack of sunlight and the dying crackles of the fire. Oh my God! You guys should have put that fire out!
Yeah.
Still, in the absence of the fire, a welcoming warmth encompassed her, and as she padded around in the darkness, she found herself draped in a thick blanket, which she tightened around herself, resting her head on something soft and warm. Applejack, she thought, as her mind started to drift off into a deep slumber once more. Her attempted return to sleep was short-lived, however, as her face was immediately pelted repeatedly with a thin, furry object. Grasping consciousness again, Rainbow noticed that her pillow was not Applejack, but rather Winona. Aww.
Even better.
I thought it was going to be Applejack's tail.
Their tails are... They can kind of move them, but... No, not like that.
Okay. Whose tail was the offending object. Shortly after this realization, a slobbery tongue covered every inch of Rainbow's face, leaving thick trails of drool dribbling onto the floor. "Oh, Winona!" whispered Rainbow, rubbing herself against the blanket in an effort to dry her face. The smell, however, decided to stick. Moving Winona out of licking distance, Rainbow looked around the dark room for Applejack. Finding no evidence of the pony in question, she frowned and a sense of dread filled her.
When does this take place?
Well, it was 2012, Christ. This is an early one.
Okay, I was wondering. I think Tank would have existed by this point, so...
Oh,
why
is that her
didn't
turtle?
she spend the holiday with Tank? Tortoise.
I'm sorry, I called tortoises turtles. I'm still that kind of kid.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't learn the difference until I was like 40. Come on.
You're 42 right now. Seriously?
It was only 2 years ago when you told me, when explaining Tank the tortoise.
You're that type of person.
Did she leave me already? Applejack, she called out as loudly as she dared. Maybe she doesn't. A light flicked on, and Applejack stepped out of the kitchen, whispering.
Rainbow! What are you doing up this early in the morning?
I don't know. I woke up and you weren't there. Applejack trotted up to Rainbow and embraced her.
I'm sorry, I didn't think you'd be up to notice.
Rainbow slumped against Applejack and welcomed the hug, though her heart was beating in her throat. Applejack? You like me too, right?
Oh, is that what this is about?
Applejack nuzzled Rainbow, grinning.
Yeah, I reckon I like you a good deal.
Rainbow exhaled and returned Applejack's hug. So, what are you doing up at She glanced at the clock on the wall. 3 in the morning? Yeah, really. I would expect out of all of them that Applejack would be asleep at that early. Yeah, but like, what is a farmer doing up at 3 in the morning? That's like optimal farmer sleeping time before they get up at 5.
At 3:30 in the morning, they're milking cows.
Are they?
Maybe. I know they get up real early.
That would make sense for like to have the cows nice and not unruly when you milk them.
Mm-hmm. But also, wait, does Applejack milk cows? I know they have cows on the farm, which, is weird because, they're sentient, but
Yeah.
I can't remember if they milk them.
But they still need to be milked.
Yep. Oh boy, 3 a.m. Don't you worry about that, Nun. It's a surprise for tomorrow. Now come on, let's get you back to bed.
Applejack pushed Rainbow in the direction of the couch and picked the blanket up off the floor, tossing it over Rainbow. Rainbow yawned again and sank into the couch as Applejack tucked her in.
I'll be here when you wake up,
said Applejack, nuzzling Rainbow's cheek.
I promise.
Now isn't that a sweet ending? But there's still more! Chapter 3.
Speaking of chapters, this is the longest chapter there is, and no, I feel good enough to say this then. If y'all should go read this story for yourself.
Oh yeah.
Son of a bitch, I keep forgetting. I should just like record a thing for like before the intro. Hey, go check out the story in the description before you read. You listen to this, or maybe during you listen to this, or at the very least, if you don't want to read it and just want to listen to this, go give it a like.
Chapter 3, and surprises.
Promises and surprises. Oh, heartwarming promises and surprises.
It's a full sentence.
Yep.
So, Applejack, what were you doing last night? Applejack grinned and nudged Rainbow towards the door, rather than the kitchen.
I tell you, that'd ruin the surprise.
Oh no, there's a bomb!
Surprise is when a bomb goes off in the middle of the fan fiction. Suspense is when you know it's gonna happen. But don't know when.
God. Aw, come on, AJ. You're killing me here. Complained Rainbow, attempting to resist her girlfriend's insistent pushing. The label!
Moving fast. Wizzy, we have been dating for 15 years now, and we still haven't had a label.
Okay. Well, who needs a label?
I like labels, though. I like to organize things nice and neatly.
Who needs a label other than co-host?
Oh, man. I want to name my future spouse my co-host.
You're my co-host in life.
I now pronounce you co-hosts. You may now kiss the co-host. I have the priest say that, and they're going to be like, oh, God damn it.
It's like a gender-neutral name for spouse.
I'm kidding. I'm getting chased to ordain our wedding. Yep. Now let's get going.
Tilting her head slightly, Rainbow Dash eyed the door suspiciously. Where are we going anyway?
Ice skating.
Applejack picked up several pairs of skates and tossed them into her saddlebags before throwing a red scarf at Rainbow. Rainbow caught the scarf with a wing and gave her a look. Ice skating?
Something wrong with that?
Yeah. We've got the whole day off and you want to go ice skating? I don't even know how to skate. Applejack wrapped a dark green scarf around her neck, then pulled the scarf off Rainbow's wing, nuzzling against her cheek as she helped Rainbow put it on, smirking.
That's the idea, Sugar Cube.
Rainbow stared blankly at Applejack, nonplussed. I don't get it. How am I supposed to go skating with you if I don't know how? Finally pushing Rainbow out the door, Applejack sidled up next to her, completely ignoring her question.
Now let's go before it gets too crowded.
A light snow fell around the two as they walked in companionable silence through the orchards towards the Ponyville Reservoir, bumping against each other with each step, separating only to cross the occasional deep snowdrift, leaving them shivering and walking closer together after each one. After about 25 minutes of walking, Applejack and Rainbow Dash finally emerged from the depths of the orchard, looking down a small hill at the reservoir, frozen over with a thick sheet of ice and devoid of any other ponies. Applejack smiled at the scene before her.
Looks like we got here first. See you, Rainbow. Getting up before other ponies is a good thing sometimes.
Stepping away from Applejack for just a moment, Rainbow scooped a bunch of snow up in her wing, forming it into a snowball. Just as Applejack turned to see why her girlfriend left her side, Rainbow launched it at her and took off into the air, darting down the hill.
You little fucker. I'll kill you. I'll kill you good. Oh, it is on,
said Applejack, making a small pile of her own snowballs. She tossed a couple up and bucked them with deadly precision at her fleeing girlfriend. Both snowballs hit their mark, and Rainbow fell out of the sky in surprise.
Crack.
Oh, I thought you were correcting me at first.
No. I should have said snap. That would have made more sense. Crunch.
Oh, God.
She's dead now. That's the joke. The
I
joke
get
is
it.
that Applejack killed her.
Whoa.
Merry Christmas. On accident.
This can't go that way.
I mean, it could. We don't know.
That's true. I was surprised by some other fics even more.
Oh, which other fix? Let's talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about Sunset Shimmer orders a pizza.
Oh, no one died in that one, though.
But it was shocking.
It was.
Both snowballs hit their mark and Rainbow fell out of the sky in surprise, landing in a particularly deep snowdrift. Just as Rainbow attempted to stand up and get her bearings, Applejack bore down on her and tackled her back into the snow. Rainbow pushed herself up with a strong flap of her wings and pounced on Applejack before she could get her footing to keep her down.
I think you mean hoofing.
Oh, no, you don't. Not that easily. Oh, wait, I just got what you said. Applejack struggled against Rainbow, but slumped down and sighed when she wasn't getting anywhere.
All right, Rainbow. I give.
Rainbow let up and scrunched her face in confusion. Really?
Me. No.
Spinning around, Applejack threw Rainbow off of her back and ran back up the hill.
I can't believe you just fell for that, Rainbow. Such a dumb idiot you are. Such a stupid dummy. Such a dumbass. So fucking dumb, stupid.
No wonder your parents died.
That's exactly how they flirt.
God. Instead of making her way out of the snowdrift, Rainbow began to pack together the snow around her into a makeshift Fort Awesome. Is Fort Awesome from the show?
I don't think so. It wouldn't be this early if it was. I don't think.
No, good point. I did that on purpose, she retorted.
Uh-huh,
said Applejack, forming a rather large pile of snowballs, eyeing Rainbow's little fort.
I'm sure you did.
A few snowballs sailed over Applejack's head in a slow arc, completely missing their marks.
That all you got, Rainbow? Come on, Rainbow, cheat.
No. Applejack leaned against her pile of snowballs and watched snowball after snowball sail through the air and land somewhere around her, not one getting close enough to warrant a concern from the orange pony.
Not one, Rainbow?
She called out in amusement. Rainbow ruffled her feathers. Hey, I'd like to see you try throwing uphill. Before she could say another word, her fort fell in a matter of seconds to Applejack's onslaught of snowballs, several hitting her square in the chest, knocking the wind out of her. Applejack sauntered over and placed a hoof on the now supine Rainbow Dash. She let Rainbow catch her breath for a moment, then bopped her on the nose.
Never challenge an apple to a snowball fight if you expect to win.
How did you do that?
Years of apple buck and sugar cube.
Applejack wrapped a hoof around Rainbow's and pulled her back onto her hooves, planting a small kiss on the Pegasus's nose, leaving her girlfriend's face flushed red.
Why don't we get on to skating before other ponies get here?
Yeah, good idea. They made their way to the reservoir, Rainbow looking pointedly away from Applejack as she fought her blush and rebellious wings. Finally stopping next to the ice, Applejack sat down and pulled the skates out of her saddlebags, handing a couple pairs to Rainbow, leaning against each other for support. They each put on their skates and, with Applejack's guidance, stepped out onto the ice. Almost immediately, Rainbow's legs sprawled out from under her, and she hit the ice, letting out a surprised yelp. Just picturing this like baby Bambi on the ice.
Oh.
Chuckling warmly, Applejack stood still so Rainbow could use her to get herself back up.
Careful, Rainbow. Ice is slippery.
Hardy har har. Any other helpful advice for me? As soon as Rainbow stood back up and managed to balance, Applejack stepped a few inches away from her.
Yeah, actually.
She said with a sly grin.
I want you to put your wing around me. Use it to keep yourself standing.
Rainbow did as she was told and extended her wing over Applejack's back carefully, so as to not fall down again. She took another moment to steady herself. All right, what's next?
We're gonna do a few laps around here, very slowly, and I just want you to focus on keeping your balance. Once you feel comfortable with that, you can try a couple on your own.
Applejack skated forward ever so slowly, letting Rainbow get used to it. A couple slip-ups, laps, and encouraging nuzzles later, Rainbow found herself able to stand and even make minor adjustments to where she was going.
Love a good encouraging nuzzle.
Thrilled with her success after only a short amount of time, she tightened her wing around Applejack and smiled widely. This is awesome, AJ! Applejack leaned into Rainbow's embrace.
Sure is. You're doing great, just as I thought you would.
She noticed a few ponies nearing the reservoir with their own skates in tow and reluctantly separated herself from Rainbow. She motioned towards the ponies.
Now you see why I wanted to get out here early? Figured you might like some time not to look like a complete fool in front of every pony.
Thanks, AJ.
Don't thank me yet.
Still time.
Now, why don't you try a few laps on your own? Just push outward and away a bit with your hooves to get moving properly. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Rainbow took off around the makeshift rink as it slowly filled up with other ponies. Applejack trailed her around, though she did take a few minutes to do a few laps of her own first. As Rainbow picked up speed, Applejack skated back to her spot at her side.
You're doing great, Rainbow. A lot better than I did my first time.
Smiling even wider, Rainbow put on a bit more speed with a quick flap of her wings, and once she was comfortable with her newfound speed, she closed the gap between herself and Applejack, wrapping her wing around the earth pony once more. I do have the best teacher ever.
Aww, you know that's not why. Rainbow Dash is just naturally skilled at this sort of thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say that this is probably kind of her forte.
Yep.
Just sports, all of them.
Yeah.
She's like Air Bud in that way.
She is like Air Bud. Oh my gosh.
There's no rule that says a pony can't play basketball. Over the next hour, the pair of ponies talked, snuck each other nuzzles and little kisses on the cheek, when Rainbow was absolutely sure no pony was looking, and skated around the rink, completely lost in each other's company. Rainbow even felt comfortable enough to perform a lap or two at speed on her own, one of which was successful, the other of which ended up in her launching herself off the reservoir's edge and into the snow. Oh, God.
Oh, boy.
Prompting hearty guffaws from Applejack, much to Rainbow's embarrassment. The rink had finally filled up with ponies when a purple blur sped past Applejack and Rainbow Dash, yelling back at them,
"Happy heartswarming, you two."
Both ponies did a double take, and sure enough, Twilight Sparkle, of all ponies, had swooped down and landed on the ice, adorned with her own skates. They turned to each other.
"What's Twilight doing here? I thought she was in Canterlot today."
Coming to a stop next to Applejack and Rainbow Dash, Twilight grinned at both of them.
I was, but we all...
She motioned to her parents, brother, Spike, and Cadence, putting on their own skates at the edge of the rink.
Got tired of dealing with the nobility bending over backwards for me.
She rolled her
Coward.
eyes.
Also, there's nobility right there, dude. So, we decided to spend this heartswarming in Ponyville instead. Well, I'll be...
said Applejack, chuckling.
It's great to have you back here so early. Rainbow here was starting to miss every pony.
Rainbow flattened her ears.
"Was not!"
Applejack gave Rainbow a friendly push on her shoulder.
Oh, hush you. It ain't nice to lie to your friends.
"Maybe I missed them a little."
Twilight giggled at the exchange.
Oh, congratulations, by the way.
Both Applejack and Rainbow looked up at Twilight, confused, Applejack raising an eyebrow.
About what? You two, of course.
You two are what?
What? What are they?
I'm not going to put a label on it. That's for them. Explained Twilight, pointing a hoof at both of them.
You're not as subtle as you think.
Come on, Twilight. You should be more oblivious to those types of hints.
Yeah. Frankly, I am shocked that they're as subtle as they are.
Mouth gaping, Rainbow's face lit up in a heavy blush.
Thanks.
So, Twilight, apart from all them nobles, how was your hearthswarming eve?
Asked Applejack, steering the conversation towards something less embarrassing for Rainbow.
It was a lot of fun. The other princesses and us all went to see the hearthswarming play. Then we walked around downtown Canterlot and watched a lot of the street performances. We had dinner in the castle gardens for Luna's winter festival, then talked for a few hours. We finally ended the evening with a visit to Donut Joe's for dessert. It was closed.
Twilight licked her lips, her eyes glossing over.
Nothing like a good eggnog donut for hearthswarming.
Eggnog donut? I've heard of an apple cider donut, but eggnog?
I don't know.
Sounds kind of tasty, actually. Shining Armor and Cadence skated up to the group and greeted Applejack and Rainbow Dash, snapping Twilight out of her pastry-induced daydream.
Wake up! Smack.
Shaking her, please, Twilight!
Twilight!
Just licking her lips. Eggnog. God.
Wait a minute. Eggnog? There's eggs in that, isn't there? That's disgusting.
Don't they have chickens?
Yeah, but they're still herbivores.
Well, they have milk, right?
I don't like to think about it. But That just puts it face front.
Well, I'm assuming that they have, like, our versions of chickens and cows where you just take their milk and eggs and they don't mind, you know?
They might have oat milk.
Oh, that's a good point. You can make vegan everything.
Yep.
Especially with magic.
So I guess technically you could probably make vegan eggnog, but why call it eggnog?
That's a good question. Why is it even called eggnog? What does nog mean? This and more on the next episode.
It's not going to be a Christmas episode next episode.
But it's gonna be eggnog themed. I'm starting a whole eggnog trend.
What is the etymology of eggnog? Rum was referred to as grog. I see.
Oh! Does it come from that?
So that's what grog is. The drink first became known as egg in grog, and later as eggnog. Ben Zimmer, executive editor for Vocabulary.com, disputes the egg and grog theory as lacking proof. Zimmer states that the term nog may be related to the Scottish term nug or nugged ale, meaning ale warmed with a hot poker. And then it goes on. We could just have an episode reading that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, let's do, like, voices for it as well. Reading news articles like we read this.
News articles. It's Wikipedia news. Anyways, it was a wiki article, and I thought I said wiki earlier, but it doesn't matter. Might not have said it.
Shining cracked his neck and pushed Twilight towards the center of the rink.
Sorry, you two, but Twilight, I have a bet to settle.
Oh, that's the one you're going for? All right.
That is not what she says.
That's the voice? All right. That's all right then. That's all right. Oh, that's all right. Plenty of time to catch up later.
Applejack looked to Rainbow for confirmation that they were thinking the same thing, to which she received a nod.
Sides. We've been here a couple hours already, and we're getting hungry. I think we'll head into town to grab some lunch to eat. What do you say, Rainbow?
Her stomach grumbling, Rainbow nodded.
Yeah, food does sound good right about now. See you guys later? Yep,
said Shining Armor.
We'll be here for a few days.
Turning to Twilight, he asked,
Now, what was that about being a better skater than me?
The group separated, and Rainbow and Applejack stepped off the rink, stowing her skates in Applejack's bags once more. Starting off towards town, Rainbow extended her wing around Applejack.
Ooh.
So, where are we gonna eat?
Asked Rainbow.
Well, I hear Hearth Cuisine's got some kind of Hearth Warmin special, and Rarity says it's real good. We could try that.
Rainbow shrugged.
Sounds good to me.
A short walk later, buildings cropped up around the two. Doors were adorned with wreaths and bells.
Doors were adorned. Oh, I'm genius.
Knee slapper. Windows had frosted over, glowing with the warmth of fires from inside. Someone call 911. These buildings are burning down. And the inviting smell of burning wood blanketed the town. God, that does kind of sound like they're burning down. Soon after, the town square came into view, and with it, the largest tree in Ponyville, standing as tall as the Carousel Boutique itself. Stands filled the town square, some selling various confections and drinks, others selling assortments of toys and games. Foals crowded around excitedly. In front of the hearth-warming tree was a quintet playing well-known hearth-warming songs, giving the town that little bit extra cheer to make the mood infectious. Rainbow couldn't keep back a smile as she watched the entire town simply bask in the joy of the day, all other troubles forgotten. Finding their way through the crowds, exchanging greetings, Applejack and Rainbow Dash made it to the other side of the square, sitting down at a table at the restaurant. Prompt as ever, Cuisine greeted them almost as soon as they'd settled down. He handed menus to both ponies.
Welcome to Cuisines on this delightful afternoon. I swear I was trying to do a Transylvania Dracula whatever accent there. That What might I, or maybe German? I don't know. What might I interest you in? The heartwarming specials, perhaps?
Applejack scanned her menu and found no mention of what the special actually was.
May I ask what the special is?
No.
Certainly, ma'am. We have two specials, one for
He glanced between the two.
couples, and one for, you'll get the idea, thruples. Might I be incorrect in assuming you would enjoy the former? We would,
Affirmed Applejack, touching her hoof to Rainbow's under the table. Horta nodded and continued. This guy's name is Horta?
Horte? I don't know.
Oh, I thought
no.
Horta Cuisine was the name of the restaurant. I didn't realize this guy was also the owner of the restaurant. Okay. I
Genius.
missed that.
Our couple special is a pear and gorgonzola puff pastry, drizzled with Riesling and thyme caramel sauce, followed by a potato. I didn't realize that this was going to go on for this long. Otherwise, I would have spit that up. Followed by a potato and leek soup and a pomegranate salad tossed with champagne vinaigrette. The main course is a brown butter pumpkin risotto, and the dessert is an eggnog cheesecake topped with freshly ground nutmeg. All for two, of course.
Rainbow rubbed the back of her neck.
Wow, that's a lot.
No, it is only 5,000 bits. Not a lot for you, I'm sure.
Do bits just like translate to dollars?
I don't know. I don't know.
Never mentioned like what a cupcake or something would cost?
They have mentioned stuff like cherries and apples, I believe. I can't remember what though.
Okay. Gotta do the translation, whatever that's called.
Yeah. Sure is.
Agreed, Applejack.
What would this set us back? The meal is 70 bits and comes with a complimentary Chardonnay and decadent hot cocoa.
That's a little much.
Applejack cut Rainbow off.
We'll have that, please. Hold the wine, though. I've got something else planned for later. Mormons.
Yo, Mormon Rainbow Dash. Or Mormon Applejack? One of the
I
two.
think Applejack would most likely be Baptist. Rainbow Dash out of the main six, I guess I could probably see the most being Mormon.
Well, I do
that
know
or
in this fic we've
Pinkie Pie, maybe.
established that she worships Christ, so there's at least that.
Yep. Anyways, let's go Christian lesbians.
Yes. Specifically Christian lesbians. If you are not a Christian lesbian, you're still cool, but you're missing that.
I'd recommend getting on that quickly.
Horta bowed and retreated inside his restaurant.
Applejack,
Yeah, Rainbow?
that's a lot of bits for some food. Are you sure you can afford that?
Rainbow backpedaled a bit.
I mean, Not that you're poor or anything. God forbid. But you're always talking about things you could do for the farm if you had a bit more money.
Sure I could, Rainbow. But if I spent every spare bit on the farm, I'd never get to do other things I like to do.
Applejack rubbed her hind leg against Rainbow's and leaned in closer to her.
Like having a nice lunch with my new girlfriend on Hearth's Warmin Day.
A waiter interrupted them, placing a couple mugs of hot cocoa on the table, then left to attend other tables. Applejack and Rainbow each took a few sips of their hot cocoa. Applejack and Rainbow each took a few sips of their cocoa before returning their attention to each other. Minutes passed in silence, the couple staring into each other's eyes and rubbing hooves under the table. At last, the first course arrived.
This almost looks too nice to eat,
said Rainbow, poking at the pastry with the tip of her hoof.
Bet it tastes good enough to eat, though.
Applejack leaned forward and took a bite.
That's good.
Wait, is that supposed to be that's good? I thought that was she was talking about Rainbow Dash.
Yeah.
This is Dash.
Oh, boy.
That's, the double entendre.
Food and mouthisms.
Rainbow laughed.
I
That
am
fucking-
good, AJ.
Oh, good, that was intentional. She took a bite of her own, making sure to brush her muzzle against Applejack's on the way in. She savored the food for a second, something exceedingly rare for the Pegasus.
Wow, that is really good.
Not sparing further time for words, the two devoured the pastries in a matter of minutes.
Minutes. Horses. So, Rainbow.
Rainbow looked up from her hot chocolate, trying to reach a spot of whipped cream on her nose with her tongue. Of course you can do that when you're a horse.
Yeah, it's actually probably pretty easy. If you're a horse, I do it anyways, but I can't reach my tongue with my nose with my tongue.
I can still touch the tip of my nose with the tip of my tongue, but that's as best as I can do.
Wow, you can still do that? I couldn't ever.
Yeah, I'd never actually tried in a while, and I just tried again. I forgot I could do that.
Nice. I could touch the tip of my elbow with my tongue.
Really?
That's apparently something that not a lot of people can do.
I could not do that.
I can also clap with one hand. That's a whole other thing.
What is the sound of one hand clapping?
It's this.
Yeah, AJ? What's up?
I was just wondering, why me?
Well,
Rainbow thought hard for a few minutes, attempting to piece together the words she wanted to say.
you're awesome.
Applejack snorted.
I'm not done.
All right, continue.
Rainbow's blush returned slightly, and she played with her mane.
I mean, you're really awesome. I'm always happy when you're around. Or when I'm not, you know how to make me feel better. And I have a lot of fun hanging out with you. Who wouldn't want a pony like you as their girlfriend?
She squirmed in her seat, looking around to make sure no pony was watching or listening.
And you're really, attractive.
Applejack leaned over the table and hugged Rainbow.
Well, you sure do know how to flatter a girl. And who'd have known you get so mushy when you like some pony? Blink, 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 blink.
Rainbow returned the hug.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up. But that's what I like about you.
Applejack jabbed Rainbow's side, causing the other pony to pull back and bite her lip to stifle her laughing, almost falling off her chair.
You're all mushy and squishy inside.
Upon seeing Applejack's very predatory grin, Rainbow feared for her life. No pony was supposed to know she was ticklish. No pony! And yet, somehow, Applejack knew. This could be very, very bad. The next courses arrived soon after, which Rainbow was thankful for. She was getting increasingly tired of dodging Applejack's attempts at tickling her further. They were consumed in much the same way as the first, ravenously. Dessert was the sole exception, but only because both ponies were being careful to avoid each other's lips. Something rather difficult to do with a small cheesecake.
Wizzy, if we're ever eating a small cheesecake together, don't you dare avoid my lips.
Why would they be avoiding each other's lips? Come on, they should just
that's
kiss
how...
already.
Oh, wait, I see what you're doing. Because they want to take it slowly.
Yeah.
But Wizzy, you better damn well not take it slowly with me.
Only, freaking 11 years now?
Yeah.
About 11. When they finished, they thanked the waiter and left a pile of bits on the table, enough to cover the bill and leave a sizable tip. The food, after all, was fantastic. Donning her saddlebags, Applejack led the way out of the restaurant's patio. Led the way out of the restaurant.
No, screw it. It's patio now. That word is now patio.
I was like...
And I don't care what everyone else says.
I was going to go with, like, ratio in my mind, and then I was like, wait, no, that's a P. I got this.
You did good.
Applejack led the way out of the restaurant's patio and back into the crowds of ponies still pursuing the wares on sale. The snow began to fall in earnest, and as Applejack looked up at the sky, she remembered something. She tapped Rainbow on the shoulder to get her attention.
Hey, Rainbow. I just remembered that I want you to marry me.
Already?
Uh-huh. Maybe they're waiting till marriage to kiss.
That would be weird.
Christians.
Or maybe they're just really planning on getting married real soon.
I just remembered that Apple Bloom, Big Mac, and Granny are supposed to get home soon, but I've got something I want to show you before they get there. Y'all alright with heading out?
Rainbow's ears perked with curiosity.
Yeah, sure. What do you want to show me?
I told you earlier, it's a surprise.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Rainbow took off at a full gallop, calling back to Applejack.
Racy there!
The words had barely left Rainbow's mouth before Applejack started after her. On the way back, Applejack was very glad that she'd spent the previous day plowing all the roads they were running down to get to Sweet Apple Acres. She didn't think she'd be able to keep up with Rainbow otherwise, but as it happened, she did plow the roads, and she was hot on Rainbow's trail. Rainbow blew a raspberry back at Applejack as she crested the last hill before the farmhouse. Seconds before Rainbow reached the porch, Applejack leapt into the air and tackled Rainbow to the ground, both coming to a complete stop at the finish line. Rainbow groaned.
Not again! Another tie?
Applejack brushed herself off and got off Rainbow, smirking.
Least you can admit it this time.
Yeah. You said you had a surprise for me?
As she trotted inside, Applejack picked up a log off the pile on the porch. She tossed it onto the fireplace and lit it while Rainbow flopped onto the couch behind her.
Now, just wait here a second while I go get it.
More than a few seconds went by for the very impatient Rainbow, who stared up at the ceiling in complete and utter boredom. At last, Applejack emerged from the kitchen carrying a huge barrel of cider. Rainbow's eyes went wide and she clenched her jaw shut to keep from drooling.
Applejack, you didn't...
Heaving the barrel up onto the table, Applejack beckoned to Rainbow.
Sure I did. It's all yours.
Cider? Just for me?
Rainbow's attempts at controlling her drool failed, and a strand trailed its way down her chin before she caught herself and wiped it away.
AJ?
Mm-hmm.
I think I love you.
Applejack chuckled.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Sugar Cube. I appreciate the sentiment, though. Now get on over here and let's crack this here barrel open.
Mugs were retrieved and cider flowed as the two ponies cuddled on the couch, recounting tales, some embellished more than others. Not long after the festivities began, the rest of Applejack's family returned home. The mares on the couch waved at the new arrivals.
Howdy, y'all. Enjoy your day? Sure did, AJ.
Exclaimed Applebloom.
I got a brand new bow. See?
She ran up to the couch and showcased her new accessory, considerably more purple than her last bow.
Looks real good on you, Applebloom.
Yep.
Agreed Big Macintosh. Applejack waved every pony over and poured a few more mugs of cider. Not from Rainbow's barrel, of course. Passing them around the room. The family settled in around the fire and talked about their days. Applejack and Rainbow Dash leaving out certain details. Ooh. There's some stuff that we didn't even get to see, huh?
Some Christmas banging?
Maybe. On the Lord's Day, I don't think so. With the sun long set and every pony tired after their eventful days, Big Macintosh and Granny Smith bade good night to the other three ponies occupying the room. Not long after, Rarity stopped by and picked up Applebloom for another Cutie Mark Crusaders sleepover. Man, they're even all going to visit Applejack, but none of them went to visit Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, it is very rude.
Turns out they did go to there and couldn't find her. Went to her house and couldn't find her. And just like,
Thought she was dead.
Okay. Guess she finally died. Let's go visit Applejack now. Rarity stopped by and picked up Applebloom for another Cutie Mark Crusaders sleepover, but not before commenting on how adorable Applejack and Rainbow were together, leaving the two wondering if every pony knew already.
Jesus
Twilight
Christ.
posted about it.
Twilight, you can't shut the fuck up. This is their thing, you goddamn.
Turns out they're totally gay, guys!
My God, Twilight, if you did that, stop. This is their relationship. Or they're just obvious. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they're probably cuddled pretty close on the couch.
No, not too close, you hear? Leave room for Jesus.
There's always room for Jesus. He's in our hearts.
Very tiny, actually. My heart.
This little dude.
Jesus just hanging his legs off of your freaking, I don't know, wherever you want him to hang his legs off of. Just
My
kicking
aorta.
him back and forth. Tiny Jesus.
Applejack yawned and walked back to the couch, intent on further cuddling, but Rainbow got up and stopped her.
I guess I should get going soon. It is getting a little late.
Rainbow punctuated this with a yawn of her own. She hugged Applejack for a few minutes before reluctantly letting go and starting towards the door.
Thanks for the totally awesome day, Applejack. I really had a lot of fun, and it was really nice having some pony to spend today with.
Applejack frowned and intercepted Rainbow before she could get to the door.
You know, today doesn't have to end if you don't want it to. Beep, beep.
She waggled her eyebrows and asked,
You want to come upstairs with me?
Rainbow's face lit up and she squeaked out her next words, trying desperately and failing to keep her wings at her side.
Isn't it a bit early for that?
Jesus Christ! Our Lord and Savior was born on this day.
Can't believe they're actually making a joke about that. I wasn't expecting that.
It's rated T.
Ooh! I thought that was for the spiked cider.
Wait, is it rated T? I can't remember.
Hopefully. Only teens can know about sex.
Yep, that's true.
Applejack's face took on a similar hue, looking mortified.
Oh gosh, no! I did not mean it like that. I meant cuddling, really. Granny, I'm so sorry you had to hear that. Oh God, kill me now.
Apple Bloom's not even out the door yet.
Oh no.
Finally pulling her wings down with her teeth, Rainbow took a few breaths to calm herself and smiled warmly.
Yeah, I might be up for that.
Applejack leaned close to Rainbow and hesitated.
I'm glad.
She whispered, closing the gap between them, their lips meeting. Wings flaring open again, Rainbow returned the kiss, wrapping her hooves around Applejack's neck. When the kiss finally broke, Applejack guided Rainbow up the stairs into her room, closing the door with the soft click of a lock sliding into place.
And they did fuck.
They
just
locked
so you
it.
know.
That means they're sexing.
Whoa. That's a sock on the door?
That is the end of Hearth's Warmin Eve by Luna the Fox.
It's rated E. Well, that was pretty good, I have to say.
Yeah, this one was really freaking warm Christmas feeling. I think it was perfect.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I thought that the last one that we read, canonically, we actually read that tomorrow, but whatever, in the timeline, because I had a whole joke at the end of that episode. But I thought that the last fic that we read was a bit better and perhaps a bit better for this, but either way, I still better for this day, but either way, I still love this story. And it was pretty dang good for the season, I must say. Very warm, as he said. Yeah.
Yeah, you know me, I really like all of the Apple Dash fics. You put these two together, and it's the perfect pairing. It's the perfect freaking F/F pairing out of all the characters that are in this.
They're not, but they're pretty good. I like them.
Whoa, who would you say is the best FF pairing?
Oh, it's definitely Rarepie for me.
Really? Rarepie?
Oh yeah, I love Rarepie.
Huh. How come we
It's
haven't
like-
done a fic of Rarepie?
Oh my god, I've wanted to so bad. I've been holding off on it though. You know, canonically, not the ship that ends up being. But I just love those two's dynamic in episodes that they're like the main characters in. I love it. But we're not talking about Rarepie yet.
Didn't even get to see Pinky in this one.
No, we didn't. That's a shame. Always love a good Pinkie Pie sighting. And we
when
didn't
did they
get it.
introduce her family? Because they didn't even mention her family when they were discussing the families.
It said that she was partying or something like that.
Oh yeah.
She had a massive party. So like it would have been I think would have been available for some sort of a cameo. But I guess Fluttershy wasn't either. Was Fluttershy even mentioned? Her, I don't remember.
I think they said like even Fluttershy is doing something.
Oh, you're right. Now I remember. Isn't memory funny?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yep.
I think this was, like, easily, just based on the descriptions of, like, cider and whatnot, this was easily one of the best fics to get me in the mood for just the spirit of the holidays.
I get that. I can feel that. I can feel that. Oh, I'm so excited for the holidays that are happening today. Looking around, hoping no one notices that we recorded this on December 16th.
We recorded this on December 25th, and we edited and uploaded it within an hour.
Which is wild considering the recording size. 2 hours and 15 minutes. Jesus Christ. Our Lord and Savior who was born on this day.
Yeah, we talk so fast we have to slow down our podcast so people can understand us.
But if I may say something, though, since it's Christmas, I want to say something to the audience. Dear audience, thanks for all your help. You've been a real good boy this year. Warm regards, Santa Claus. Yeah, I got it in.
Oh my
But
god.
each episode in December. At least Christmas episode in December.
So hilarious how that was in... Was that in all but this fic? That they had like a letter to or from Santa?
Actually, the funny thing is that in Nudity 1, Half Naked Sunset has Half Naked Santa Claus Saves Christmas. I think that one technically did have letters to Santa, but it did not. I had to find another way to squeeze it in that one. Yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year's. Although I think we'll have a New Year's episode. Maybe not a New Year's special, but I think we'll have one around there. So, yep. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, holidays. That's the word.
See ya.
Peppa.
Wait, you didn't say record? I hit record.
Well, that's okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Wizzy. I lied. That was a terrible lie. It's just that it's all been a ruse. This entire thing.
It was a money laundering scheme.
I made up My Little Pony as a joke one day.
What?
Then I wrote all these fan fictions about it.
So there wasn't even a show to watch?
No.
You just make up facts about it as we go along and I ask questions?
So many facts. You have no idea.